Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special Webtalk Legends episode 15 with Dan Mangena. Dan is an abundance life coach, and he's been featured in Wall Street Journal and Forbes magazines. He's written at least 4 books, which you can find on dreamwithdan.com. He has a very nice affiliate program set up that we're going to talk about later. But first question I like to ask Dan is why? So for you, it'd be like, why did you decide to be an abundance life coach?
I didn't decide actually. I didn't want to be a coach at all, Daniel.
Yes.
I didn't want anything to do with it. I was very happy living my very abundant life personally. I had a lovely home. I flew first class everywhere. I had nice watches. I had a tailor. Uh, why was I going to mess it up? Bringing other people into the mix.
Right, right.
Unlike some people, I didn't. Some people come and be, oh, I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to be this because they're broke, really, and that's a way for them to get money. And they teach people how to make abundance so that they can actually have
Right.
some abundance. But I actually had a successful business. I didn't need to do that. So when I came across to coaching, first and foremost, I wasn't even coaching about abundance. I was coaching and really teaching people. See, my thing is that having abundance is really about being a person that actually has abundance. The abundance follows on naturally.
Right.
So, I was more interested in people knowing how to create their own reality, how to create a life that they actually want to live. But then what I found was, as soon as I started showing people, oh, I've got a blueprint on how to be a millionaire, all of a sudden, whoa, 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 I want to listen to what you've got to say. But then when they come in, I'm like, okay, so the way that you can become this person is by making these changes. And when they made these changes, they found it wasn't just money that showed up, their health improved, their relationships improved, their life overall improved, and the money went up as well. So that was really my journey. It was wanting to share with people how to create their own life and then realizing, hang on a minute, they're going to listen and actually follow if they've got the motivation of being able to create lots of money as well.
I actually found that interesting. When I first discovered Think and Grow Rich,
Mm-hmm.
it's about, all right, I'm going to create money. But then as I read the book and study it, and I'm like, this is more than just about money. It's
Mm-hmm.
every aspect of life.
Yeah.
And so that's really great. So what was it that drove you into what we're doing today?
So basically, I have made and lost two multi-million pound fortunes by the age of 23.
Hmm?
Okay.
Wow.
So when I lost everything the second time, I was really taken out. In fact, I was driven to the point of suicide. Now, here's the crazy thing: the only reason why I didn't actually make an attempt is because I actually had such little belief in myself that I thought I was going to fail. I was
Oh
scared of
wow.
failing. That was it. And so what actually happened was is that I went off to work out exactly what was wrong with how I was creating because it worked up to a point because I would make it, but I would lose it. So like I need to find out what's wrong with that so that when I make my suicide attempt, I don't fuck it up. Sorry for the French.
We're an adult
Right.
show here.
Okay. Well, so and that's what happened. So then I spent the next few years obsessing over reading all of the books that I'd read before because I started reading all the stuff when I was like 16. So reading all the books I'd read before, looking for new ones, reading the biographies of successful people, trying to find out what was wrong. I started going down the science and the psychology and learning about more about NLP and because I wanted to make sure that I did not fail. So I programmed myself to be a terminator for achieving a goal that I set out to achieve. But then what happened was I spent so much time polluting myself with positive content. Then guess what happened? I reprogrammed my brain and I stopped wanting to choose death and I actually wanted to choose life. So coming off the back of that, again, I built up a life that I really loved and I wasn't interested in really bringing anybody else into that mix. I had the people that, I've had my two best friends I've had since I was 15 years old. I had some relatives that I hung out with and a couple of other close friends and I didn't want into anything serious relationship. I liked sort of dating and hanging around and sort of if I want to see you or I won't. If I like, I loved my freedom and I really enjoyed my life. But as the word started to get out about how I did create, because I created a 4-step model off the back of that whole experience, as that started to get out, more and more people were like, "Hey, you should be speaking. Hey, you should be sharing that with people." Hey, like you could really help people with this. I'm like, I don't really care about helping people. I just like living my cool life. but the voice got louder and louder. And it gets to a point where you can only ignore God saying something to you through so many people for so long before you kind of have to say, okay, let me just see what's going on with this. And I had a very visceral experience when I was doing a meditation once of what my life would be like if I did actually just sort of give up my resistance and give this a try. And to know how good it could feel to actually be doing something positive and impactful in the world, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so I closed off everything, gave up my life, and came to do what I do now. And actually, I'm much better off. I make as much money, if not more, but I feel better about myself. I've got a beautiful family, beautiful friends, beautiful life I live down here in Cabo. I've got a beautiful son. Everything's like 10 times better now that I'm doing it a different way, if that makes sense.
It actually does. Personally, myself, I set out to find freedom, and now I'm like, well, I think I actually got the freedom because I get to work when I feel like, I do everything on my terms. So I'm like, now I got to reevaluate what I'm actually asking this universe for, You mentioned your 4-step model. Now, is that your challenge that we're looking into?
No. So the challenge that I'm doing from the 17th of May uses my model to work. Everything that I do uses my model to work. This is how we've got people that made millions with my systems and my programs, that have made 6 figures with my systems and my programs, created financial freedom, changed their life. The 4-step model is what makes it work. It's like the fuel, if that makes sense.
Right. It actually looked like a reprogramming kind of deal.
Yes, it's so basically what I theorize, what I basically share with people as a theory is that everything in our reality is an expression of what I call the choice machine. Now, what the choice machine is a combination of what's going on at the conscious and unconscious mind, holding the expectations, and then triggering what we're creating, if you want, manifesting off the back of that. Now, consciously, we make choices, but we're only operating at the conscious as much as 10% of the time. Most of us are actually only operating at 3% conscious capacity. The rest of it is unconscious patterns and programs. So those unconscious programs and patterns that operate at 10,000 to 10 million times the speed of the conscious mind are what are spitting out and churning what our reality is. So when we understand how we can interrupt that and interject with what we want, change the conscious and also reprogram the unconscious, and then actually have a container that can hold what comes off the back of that, because this is not just about mindset. How many people do you know that got a positive mindset? They're really focused, they're really but they're still not getting everything that they want because there's more to it. I need to be able to physically embody and hold it. I need to be able to hold the emotional frequency and state of it. I need to do all of these things. And that's what we're going to be doing in the challenge next week, kickstarting people on being able to hold all of those pieces around more abundance, more financial abundance, more money.
I'm actually looking forward to that. I'll be attending those challenges myself.
Good.
So you already told us kind of about when you first started your journey. So what kind of advice would you give somebody, who's going through that whole I'm about to give up and go back to just a normal job to pay the bills kind of person? I always find that they might need some kind of push or advice, and we all go through that. Every single person does.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Anybody who tells you that they have it good all the time is full of poop. Anyone who tells you that they never have any imposter syndrome is full of crap. Anybody who tells you that they always feel confident and sure in what they're doing is full of extra poopy crap stuff. Everybody goes through those times, but the people who win are the ones that stick to their guns, hold the line, and keep going.
Yes, I like that. They have a dream and they know what they want, and they're going to get there someday.
Exactly.
That's actually myself. I had a dream a long time ago. I put it off on hold to raise a family, and now I'm like, I'm going for my dream.
It's just, this is the one thing that advice I would give everyone is to ask yourself, have you really done everything that you can do to bring it to life? Because some people are giving up, but they haven't even been getting the right advice. They haven't been doing the most effective things. And this is what I find with my work all the time. I've had people that have come to me that have been doing meditation or studying manifesting for years, sometimes even decades. And they're like, oh, I was giving up. This stuff doesn't work.
Oh, we lost your mic.
That's right. Within a few minutes sometimes, I've done this sometimes in like 5, 10, 15 minutes, I've actually been able to identify, they're not even really doing the right things. They're not even doing the right things. Now, one of the things I find people doing most is they're trying to copy other people's models when all of us have got our own individual way that we create. So someone will be like trying to copy Elon Musk, for example. I go
Mm-hmm.
2 a.m., I do his morning ritual. You know, I've been taking big risks, but all I've done is bankrupt myself. Okay, but that was Elon Musk's way of creating. This is a concept I talk about called money DNA. When you understand your individual money DNA, then you understand how you need to create success and wealth. And when you apply that, then you can win. So there are people that aren't even working to their strengths. They're not working to their abilities. They're not working to the way that they create. They're not getting the results fast enough. Then they're getting upset. Then they're getting sad. Then they're getting depressed. Then they're feeling like a failure instead of actually just having the right formula. And again, this is one of the things we're going to teach people how to do next week.
Yeah, I love that. The money DNA, that's a good concept. I love that one.
Yeah, it's a really cool one.
Yeah, it is. Let's see here. We pretty much covered all my questions. So I like to do what I call a selfish plug. So
Okay.
I give you a moment to plug your business, your whatever, your program that you do. If you'd like to take a moment to do that, we can go ahead and do that one.
Okay. Well, really, just to have people come along and join us for the challenge next week. Just to give people context, I had a 5-day challenge I did twice last year, just around one of the things that I'm going to be teaching next week. And in that, these are the records that we had. 75,000 Australian dollars manifested in 2 days. 27,000 pounds manifested in 2 days. $47,000 manifested in 4 days.
Wow. That's insane. It really is.
Come along. That challenge that I'm talking about was just what we're doing on day one. The stuff that we did on day one, that we're going to be doing on day one, that's what it's done in the past. And we're going deeper and beyond that. We're also going to be hanging out on Clubhouse. So for those of you who are on Clubhouse, follow me, Dreamer CEO. We're going to be going live every day after we do the challenge. It'll be about 25 minutes on the challenge. We're using Zoom and also streaming it to my Facebook group. And then immediately after that, I'm going to be hopping on Clubhouse, answering questions, going a bit deeper into the content, and really making sure that everybody's got everything that they need to succeed.
Awesome. I love that, man. This Dreamer Dan, these challenges, what I forgot the name of your challenge. Date with money, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. I even like that. And it's so true. We all have this relationship with money, and many of us don't even realize it. Like myself, I come from a small poverty-stricken town, and everybody here has that same mindset. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I see that a lot. What can I get for free? The state needs to help us, kind of deal. And I'm just like, guys, just set a dream and let's start working on that. We can do so much better in our town if we do that. Personally, I spent 20 years working in concrete, before I realized that there was even a possibility that I could go for my dream. And I find that to be a vicious cycle most of us get in.
Yeah, sadly.
So, you guys, you can find Dan on dreamwithdan.com. There's actually going to be a link in this description so we can get you on Dan's challenges. He's on Webtalk now, so you can definitely find him there. He's going to be one of our bigger Webtalk legends, I think. And so, yeah, this has been great. Thank you for watching Webtalk Legends, episode 15.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.